When you think of a disappointing Sonic game, what comes to mind? Now, imagine if that game was a masterpiece. How can that happen? The answer often lies in Sega's tightly held mandates. These aren't just rules. They're like the guardrails keeping Sonic's world on track. Sounds good, right? Well, not always. These rules ensure Sonic stays consistent in character and story, but sometimes they squeeze the fun out of the games. When Sega sticks too closely to these mandates, it can feel like they're playing it safe, which isn't always exciting. After Sonic 06 and Archie's legal mess, Sega tightened these mandates. They wanted to avoid another disaster. This meant less creative freedom for developers, and sometimes the games felt too formulaic. Imagine being a game developer with great ideas, but being told to stick to a script. Frustrating, right? Let's talk specifics. Rule 3 keeps the game separate from the comics, which means we miss out on seeing the emotional depth we love. Remember Tails crying in Sonic X? It was a powerful moment. We need more of that raw emotions in the games. If Sega is afraid to show Sonic crying, they miss a chance to teach kids it's okay to show emotions. And what about Shadow? Rule 10 kept him in a box for years. Recently, Sega has relaxed this rule a bit, and now Shadow feels more dynamic. He's no longer just a brooding loner. He has room to grow and shows more of his character. Rule 12 bans romance in the games. After Sonic 06, Sega stayed clear of love stories. It's a pity. Relationships, even subtle ones, add layers to the story. Remember Tails and Cosmo? Their bond was touching and added depth. Sega doesn't need full-blown romance, but a bit of interest here and there could make the stories richer. And those are just 3 out of Sega's 13 mandates. Think about it. These rules weren't just guidelines. They were like an ironclad vault that restricted creativity. Remember that bad game you thought of earlier? Imagine how that game could have soared without those limitations. But there's a seriously burning question here. Will Sega finally loosen its grip on the mandates that have shaped Sonic's universe for so long? Will these new titles break free from the old rules? Keep watching. After Forces, Sega had a stark realization. Sonic needed a fresh start. They hit the pause button, reevaluated their mandates, and set out to inject new vitality into Sonic. This wasn't just about fixing errors. It was about revitalizing Sonic's essence, with Frontiers offering a glimmer of hope and Sonic and Shadow Generations on the horizon. Sega is determined to maintain momentum and forge a path to greatness. So what's next for these mandates? Will they evolve to unleash creativity or remain shackled to stifling innovation? Recent shifts at Sega suggest a willingness to reassess. They're navigating the delicate balance between tradition and innovation, ensuring Sonic remains thrilling for both longtime fans and newcomers. Sega meticulously crafts every detail in the Sonic world, ensuring nothing is included without thorough consideration. While their rules are more akin to guiding principles than rigid constraints, Sega carefully weaves stories, characters, and lore together, ensuring that every element harmonizes seamlessly with Sonic's universe, down to the smallest detail, the iconic ring. While mandates safeguard Sonic's identity, their flexibility is crucial to adapt to trends and fan expectations. Sega's recent adjustments demonstrate a readiness to learn and evolve. This promises a future brimming with fresh adventures, complex characters, and deeper narratives. Just like you promised to like this video. You did promise, right? Sega is putting in the work. They're taking feedback seriously and aiming to add new lore, polish their games, and create richer characters. They're not just focusing on gameplay, but on building immersive stories and worlds. This effort shows Sega's dedication to redefining what a Sonic game can be in today's gaming world. Right down to that tiny ring. Curious why it's so important? Subscribe and you'll find out. Later!